Hey guys, it is Ron with Nine Fingers Trucking, and you are absolutely correct. I haven't posted a video in a long time. Reason for that is because back in October, I kind of needed a break, and I wasn't sure if I was going to continue trucking, honestly. Had some other opportunities that I could have taken advantage of, but really I just needed some time away, man. Trucking is not easy. Hotshot's not easy. And it just, you know, it was getting to me a little bit. So took some time off, worked on some cars, did some engine work, went down to Mexico for a month, and had a lot of time to think and reflect, and talking with my wife, with my family, and we decided that with what we want to do, being able to take time off here and there, you know, go away for a week here, go away for a week there, kind of at our discretion, that the best way for us to do that and still make a decent living is to stay in this. I had some opportunities to be a mechanic with another company, great company, union, making really good money, benefits and stuff like that, but no time off the first year, a week after the second, 2 weeks after the third. And you're like, well, Ron, that's pretty typical. Yeah. And if I was in my 20s, in my 30s, heck, even my early 40s or something like that, I would have been all over it. But I'm not in those time frames anymore. My wife's got a lot of time off for work. It's just something that, you know, we want to be able to take that time. So that's what I'm doing. So anyway, during all this, I still talk to, well, a handful of guys all the time from YouTube. And then, you know, the other people are calling me in. I still get emails almost every week. Hey, can you help me out with this? I'm still talking to people. So if you need a hand with anything, you want an opinion, you know, anyways, hit me up, shoot me an email, I'll give you my number, give me a call, and, you know, I'll give you the best guidance that I can. So speaking of that, got a gentleman, Jonathan, this one's for you, buddy. And I'm not going to make fun of you or anything. I'm just going to describe what's going on. I'm kind of give everybody the advice that I gave you. So Jonathan has been around the trucking business for a little while now. He has his own authority, had you know, people working with him, but he's going to be hitting the road. So what Jonathan did is he's got an F-250, but he went out and he got a big 40-foot CDL trailer. Okay, he got it derated so he can run, but he can only haul 5,000-6,000 pounds right now. But he got that trailer knowing that he was going to be getting a CDL truck. He's in the process of getting a CDL. He's, you know, making good headway. Okay, and at one point in time, he's like, you know, he was gonna buy my truck. You know, I'm by the way, guys, I'm jumping into a semi. So anyway, my truck, 22 F450, and it doesn't have to be my truck, but I'm just describing it to you. I've got 250,000 miles on the thing. It's only 2 years old. All right. And keep in mind, I also stopped driving pretty much last October. So for the past 5 months, I've only put, you know, 1,000 miles on this truck. But anyway, I was going to sell it to him for about $35,000. I figure that's pretty darn fair. It's a 2-year-old truck. Yeah, it's got a lot of miles, but, you know, we take care of it. But the magic number here is $35,000. Okay. And, you know, he was amenable to that, and it's a good thing. So a couple nights ago, he calls me up and says, hey, Ron, I need your opinion. He says, you know, I was going to be, you know, buying your truck, but I got to get a loan, and it was going to be $1,000 a month, you know, approximately, to pay for that loan. I'm like, yeah, okay. He goes, well, I went to the Ford dealership, and I can get I think it was another 22 F450 pickup truck version, platinum, nice truck, you know, real nice truck. Only had, I want to say it was like 80,000 miles or something on it, which, you know, that's 40,000 miles a year. That's highway miles. Okay. Perfectly viable truck. But it was like, you know, $75,000, $80,000, you know, whatever the number was. But it was $1,600 a month. Well, it's only $600 a month more. And I go, okay, how long's it for? And he goes, well, it's 72 months. I'm like, well, that's 6 years. And then you run those numbers out, and that, you know, $75,000, $80,000 truck is going to cost you $108,000, whatever the number was, because of interest and stuff. And that's fine. You're doing it over 6 years, you know, and that's fine. And he goes, what do you think? Is there enough money to, you know, support that? So I'm going to not go back and forth too much. The difference between $1,000 a month truck payment and $1,600 a month truck payment, that's not that big of a deal. What is a big deal is one truck is $35,000. By the time you're done paying for it, you're going to pay 40 grand. And the other one's 75, 80,000. By the time you're done paying for it, you're going to pay 108 grand. Okay. Now, would he pay that much? No, because he was going to pay for it a lot quicker. He's going to start throwing money at it. But the price difference, you know, even if he pays for it quicker, he's still going to pay 90 grand for that truck versus, you know, 40 or so for a $35,000 truck like mine. What's the difference? Well, the difference is this, and I'll start by saying my recommendation. My recommendation to him was get the $35,000 truck, whether it's my truck or another truck or whatever. Get the $35,000 truck. Why? He's been around the trucking business a little bit, but he's never gone away for his family. His plan is to run basically for 3 weeks and then come home for a week, maybe do some local runs and stuff like that, which is very viable, all right? But he's never done it. And after a period of time, there's a lot of people out here, you know, if you look at stats, I think it says something like 75-85% of all trucking businesses fail in the first year, okay, for a variety of different reasons. But, you know, there is the possibility that he might decide he doesn't want to be away from his family 3 weeks at a time, or that he doesn't like driving, you know, 3,000 miles a week. You know, there's the possibility at the end of the year, he might want to get out. Well, if he had a $35,000 truck, he's paying $1,000 a month on it. We're just going to do basic numbers. Well, he's paid off 10 grand, okay? Which means it's only $25,000 less. Well, left. So guess what? That profit that he's been making every single month, every single week, every single month on the business, he should very easily have been able to go ahead and put extra towards that truck. And at the end of the year, he owns the truck, okay? Which means if he wants to get out of the business, he's out. You know, yeah, he still has a trailer payment, but, you know, go sell the trailer. He might take a couple $1,000 hit on it, you know, if he wants to dump it. But, you know, for a couple grand, he's out of the business. Done. And he's got a truck that he only paid $35,000 for. He put 100,000 or so miles on it. He could probably still sell it for 25. Easy. Okay, so for him to get out of the business, not a big deal. Okay. Now, but Ron, what if he likes it at the end of the year? Okay, great. At the end of the year, he has, in my case, a 22. It'll have 350,000 miles on it, you know. Not that big of a deal. I'm expecting this thing, you know, easily go 500,000, 700,000 miles. And he has the choice now. He can continue in this truck. He can then go, well, you know what? I think I'm going to stay in Hotshot, but I want that F450 platinum, you know, leather seats and things like that. Okay, well, now he's got a year of established business and he knows exactly what he's getting into. He can make a very informed decision, and I pretty much guarantee instead of there being a 22 on the lot, next year there'll be a 23 on the lot with 60 or 80,000, you know, miles on it, and he can pick that up for roughly the same price, and he can go, oh, and by the way, he can have this other truck just sitting on the side if he wants, as a backup, just in case, or he can sell this truck or whatever, or he can maybe expand and put a driver in the truck if he has someone that can do something like that. But he has option. He might, at the end of that year, go, hey, I really want to get into this, but you know what? I want to step up to a semi. Okay, great. He doesn't have a truck payment anymore on this truck because he's paid for it, all right? However, if he goes out, which I know he's going to go do, and Jonathan, it's okay. You know, it's not the wrong decision. It's just not the decision I would make. If he goes out and he gets that, you know, $80,000 truck, well, at the end of the year, he's still paying on that $80,000 truck. At the end of 2 years, he's still paying on that $80,000 truck. Maybe by the end of 3 years, if things goes well, he's not paying on that $80,000 truck anymore, which is now a $90,000 truck. Okay, but that truck has kind of locked him in, if he buys it, into either taking a huge loss if he wants to get out, or he has to stay in that truck. You know, now, does he have to? No, he could go out and he could buy a semi if he wanted to, but now that $80,000 truck is just sitting in the driveway. Just sitting there. Nobody's driving that truck while he's gone. So what, you're paying all this money to have a truck sit in your driveway? To me, that's not it's not the decision I would make, okay? It's not the wrong decision to go out and buy something new, or, you know, spend the money on something like that. But given the market situation that we have, given he has no direct customers, he's down in Florida, by the way, South Florida, okay, to give you an idea. He could maybe do cars, but Florida just doesn't make that much stuff. So he's got to get out of there. He's got to spend that time away. Given that he hasn't spent 3 weeks away from his home, it just makes more sense to me. Hold on a second, guys. Okay, guys, real quick, I had to go, and I'm actually done being loaded. I'm going to get strapped up and rolled out of here. So, end of the story is this. If you're going into this and you're looking for your first truck, as always, I'm going to tell you, get your CDL, go in at least CDL. Give yourself that advantage if you can. If for some reason you can't, well, then you can't, then, you know, good luck. But when you're buying these trucks, just be, I'm not going to say be smart. Just make sure you work the numbers, talk to people, see what's feasible to do, you know, on a weekly basis, working off the load boards. You know, we're not talking direct customers because that's a different animal. What you can reasonably do to get those gross numbers, and then work your numbers backwards, see how much money potentially you can make and what it's going to cost. You know, keep in mind, you know, if you're buying an $100,000 truck, you know, something like that, you're going to be dumping 100, 120, 150,000 miles a year on this thing. So in 2 years, you've got 250, 300,000 miles, you know, on this thing. You know, in less than 2 years, I had 250,000 miles on this thing. You know, it is what it is. You know, I run, which means the value of that truck is just going to be in the toilet compared to what you paid for it. All right. So just keep in mind those expenses and just make an informed decision. So as always, guys, if you made it this far, if you haven't subscribed, you know, hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be putting in my, not journey, but, you know, my transition into semi. Of course, then you'll be seeing me coming from a semi. I've got the Hotshot experience. Now I'm jumping in there. I'll let you know how the numbers are, roughly speaking, what the market's like, you know, what I'm doing, and you know, we'll go from there. So as always, be safe on the road, and we'll talk to you soon.